What's good with it in the hood with it? You already know what it is, man. It's Gunners Profiles, and today we're gonna really get it in, right? We're definitely gonna get it in. Oh, you don't get it in like that? Spensa la tira, con permiso. I do. Now trip out. It's about to get real right here. No added preservatives, man. We're gonna speak on some real stuff. You see the thumbnail right there? Menudo styles, direct fashions. You know how it be like. Trip out. The mark, guess it. Are you a mark? I'm not a mark, right? But the mark of the bestia, the mark of the beast. We've heard about it since we were kids, right? Hey, at the end of the times, you're going to have to get a mark, and it's going to be 666, and you already know what the last number is, and trip out. If you get it, you know, you're going straight to hell. Now, trip out. We're already living in it. There definitely is going to be a mark of the beast. Anyone who's a true believer, anyone who really knows what's up, anyone who's read that book, Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth, understands the concept behind the mark of the beast, the reasons why, and how it's going to happen. Now, let me break it down, Holmes, in real terms, in a real way, so that you understand, because it's my gift to give it to you, and it's your gift to receive, Holmes. A little education ain't never hurt nobody, no matter who's telling it. If I'm selling it or telling it, the game is to be sold and not to be told. But right here, I'm going to give it to you for free, Leo. You already know what the dealio is. Now, trip out. Since a kid, I've heard about the mark of the beast. And I've always wondered exactly what it was, if it was going to be those three numbers, if it was going to really be involved with Satan himself, if it was really going to have, you know, an impact on our lives, if we were going to be around, or I was going to be around to really see it happen. And it's happening now. It's actually happening right yesterday, today, and tomorrow, right? They're working on it. Okay, now in the Bible it says that the mark of the beast will be placed on people towards the end, when there's basically a new world order. Basically, when one group takes over, when all governments come together, when one people, every nation is formed as one, that's when the mark of the beast will be distributed. And it is a show of sign of allegiance to Satan himself, but also, even more so than that, it is a form of currency. See, what's happening now with the depletion of the American dollar is everything is going by the wayside. They're starting, hey, China's trying to have their money be sold and not to be told. A lot of different things are happening, but at the end of the day, what's really going to happen, and it's coming very soon, I see it. I can see the train coming. Guard, you see it? Yeah, I see it. He sees it too. That also, he don't really see shit. You know, I be over there. Hey, you're getting mine. He don't even notice, right? The winner is. Now, trip out. You got to see it for what it is, gente, and what it really is real life, right? Towards the end, they're going to make us get this mark, okay? And everyone thinks, you know, back in the days, you know, before we really knew, we weren't as advanced as we are nowadays. Everybody thought it was going to be a tattoo, the actual number 666, or even a barcode, our social security number, things of that nature. Yes, it is going to be something meant to track us. It is going to be something meant to identify us, just like our fingerprints. It is going to be something so that way we're numbers. You know, in life, we are numbers, especially here in the United States. You know, we're a person. We have a last name, a first name, a middle name, a suffix, a prefix, or whatever the fuck you have. But at the end of the day, you are nothing more than your social security number, right? You are numbers generated in a computer so that way people can keep an eye on you, right? So they know how much money you owe, how much money you make, what's going on with you, where you've been, where you're at, how many vacations you took with your familia. If you got a mamon on the corner by a streetwalker, ¿sabes qué? For $30 3 nights ago. They want to know exactly what's going down, right? But at the same time, it's hard to track when there's so many people in this world. It's hard to keep an eye on them. So they have devised a plan, gente, and it's already being implemented in a lot of different countries. And it's a chip. It's not going to be a tattoo. It's not going to be a barcode. It's not going to be any of that. What it's going to be is a chip that is placed inside you. That is going to basically be your identity. Now, in the beginning, it will be your identity. We already use credit cards. We use debit cards, you know, just place it on the thing. Beep, beep. You're good. They already got your feria. They done snatched it before you could even understand how much they took. And that's just the way it is. But it's going to be different. It's going to be very different. Now, what it's going to be is in your hand. You just go like that. Then you just wipe it like a wand. That's it. It's there. They could take the feria. All your money is going to be placed on that card, which is embedded in you. Your whole identification will pop up, what you look like, pictures, all these things. And the reason that they're doing this and what they're feeding the masses, the people, is that this is going to be an easier way to have currency. Everything you own is going to be on this chip. It's going to be embedded within inside you, so there will be no fraud. People can't steal your chip and just they cut your man wabs on this gang. You know what I mean? Imagine that right there and everything. And watch out. Trip out, eh? You know what I mean? Hey, I got like 4 hands. I got 2 hands for see. I look at shoot me a tawa right now. Shoot you 2 hands. You know what I mean? All right, fuck it. I got you. You know what I mean? Here. There's going to be ways to hustle, but speaking in real life, there's definitely going to be a mark. And this is the mark of the beast. This is how it's going to be implemented. Now, I'm not giving you game that is bullshit, right? And this is just my theory on it. A lot of people have a lot of different theories. They can say, there ain't going to be no mark of the beast. You're about also gun. What type of scante are you on today, right? They're going to say whatever they want to say. These are the naysayers. These are the non-believers. These are the people that think everything's going to be everything for the rest of their entire lives. But these are also the motherfuckers that sit there doing life in prison talking about why, how? Because your fucking crime partner told on you. That's how. Why? Because you're a baboso. But, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to deal with you. You know what I mean? You're going to be the first one in line for the mark. Now, trip out, Mark. The mark of the beast is something told. It's foretold in the Bible. It's prophecy. And it's being implemented now. You know, people like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, these individuals that believe in population control. They believe in monitoring people. They believe in numbers and statistics and algorithms, you know, and just analytics. These are the type of people, very smart individuals, but they're also in the position they're in because they're very analytical, meaning that they like numbers. They like generating numbers. So they want to turn people into what they naturally are numbers. Right? And they want to make it easier to identify people and basically to use these numbers and these things for population control, you know, to get into people's bank accounts, just to identify what the algorithm or the rhythm of the people are. You know, it's just like a smartphone. You ever notice? Here's some real game. You ever notice? You'll be thinking about wiener schnitzel and I'm going to get some chili cheese fry. You don't even say it loud. You just think about that shit. And then you go on YouTube and then first commercial that pops up is some chili cheese fries from wiener schnitzels. You ever seen that? And I'm just taking that for an example. Or you think, I'm going to go get a chela after where I'm thirsty than a motherfucker, right? And next thing you know, the next 3 commercials you see, everywhere you go are chelas. Now that's just perception, but at the end of the day, these smartphones, they listen to you, whether you're thinking it or saying it. They can read your mind. They're like gypsies in the fucking with the crystal ball. Let me see your winners. That's all. That's how it is. The mark of the beast is going to be something. It's going to be more like a tracking device. Okay. Now it says in the Bible at the end, in the end times, when this mark of this beast is distributed, what's going to happen? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. At first, it's going to be the way of the future, huh? It's like America's cup of coffee, like cocaine, right? It's going to be something new that only very few are going to be able to get a hold of or be able to do. There's going to be a lot of tests that are ran because in the beginning, it's not going to be what it's cracked up to be. You know, it's not going to be perfect. Nothing ever is, right? But they're going to perfect it over time. It's going to get better and better to the point where more people are going to be like, whoa, banking's easier. It's easier to monetize, you know, to have my money, to monitor my money. It's easier. There's no fraud. People can't steal my card. They can't burn me, right? So a lot of people are going to go for it. They're going to be bamboozled. They're going to be bamboozled. Word of the day, bamboozled. They're going to be bamboozled. Trickery, hickory, trickery, doc. The fucking tranny loves the cock, right? They're going to be, it's just going to be like that. And these vatos are going to definitely be, sign me up. Hit me right here. Hit me with your best shots. I like the R too, right? How you want to put it? Put a big old master blaster in it, right? They're going to get it embedded in them. And yes, life and the comforts of life might be easier in the beginning, but that's just trickery, homes. That's fakery. That's fairy dust. That's an illusion. That's it. What's really going to happen, Raza, sit down here. Knowledge you can't get in college. What's really going to happen, like I said, that's going to be an easier way for them to monitor you. Now, in the beginning, like I said, it's going to be on a voluntary basis. Hey, who wants to get this innovative new thing that's going on? Now, the people, the Christians, the Catholics, the people that truly believe, the Muslims, whether you're into whatever religion you're into, now these people are understanding that there is a mark of the beast that is going to be coming. And a lot of people that are skeptical like me, you know, skeptics are going to be like, I don't know about that shit. It's like, nah. You know what I mean? I like the dollar to make me hot. I get paid to do the wild thing. They're going to keep their feria. It ain't going to be worse shit, but they're going to keep it. They're going to try to hold on like in Vogue, Don Robinson, right? But at the same time, what's going to happen is where it became voluntarily, now it's going to start becoming mandatory. Now it's going to be like you can't buy, trade, sell, none of this without this chip. Okay, it's going to be something that's mandated slowly but surely, kind of like the shots were. Remember that? At first voluntary, then they want to give you $100 to go get one. Then it was like, get one, puto, you can't fly nowhere. Something like that, slowly but surely. These are how things are implemented. You know, at first it's all fun, man. It's always a smile. Then at the end, it's always a frown. They turn that smile upside down, and then it's like, bitch, you better get it, right? So then it's going to become mandatory, this mark. And if you refuse to get it, well, then you will neither have water nor bread. Okay, you will not be able to feed your children, feed yourself. You will not be able to go shopping in stores, bank. You will not be able to, your money won't be worth nothing. That's why I say get gold, jewelry, things that hold their value, not necessarily jewelry, but gold and silver, because they hold value. At least you'll be able to trade on the underground and the undermarket. You know what I mean? It's like the black market, like that. From the black market. Who remembers that? Remember that shit? That was slapping back in the days. Anyways, if you don't have this, you know what I mean? You're going to be an outcast, shunned. Then what's going to happen is they're going to start incarcerating people. Yes, indeed. Listen here, man. I ain't no conspiracy theorist. This is what's going to happen. It says it in the Bible. They're going to start incarcerating people because now you're ostracized from the mainline. You're ostracized from public. You're now against the grain. You are now an outlaw, a rebel. You've rebelled against what the masses are doing. You have rebelled against realness. You have rebelled against the normality of the people, the norm, right? You're something different. Oh, you didn't want to get this? Sounds like you have nothing then. You're a have not for real. You were a have not then and you're even worse now. This is what's going to happen now. Some people are going to fucking stay strong because they know what's up. They've read the Bible. They've been told their whole lives and they're going to hold out. They're going to hold on, like I said in Vogue. But, you know, it's going to be hard. You know, only the strong will survive. When they say, hey, only the strong survives. I was at a car show the other day. What the guy shot? I lived though. Only the strong survive. Well, that was stronger than you. He didn't survive though. He didn't make it. See, the doctor told his mom and dad he wouldn't make it. Oh, did Jay Diggs? Let me tell you what's going to happen. Then they're going to start public executions, right? Then it's going to come to that point. It says in the Bible where people are going to be beheaded in the streets because they refuse to take this mark. If you take this mark of the beast, gente, two things happen. One, you automatically damned yourself. You automatically chose your side in this war, this Armageddon that's coming one of these days. You've already chosen to be manipulated. You're a weak soul. You're a weak person. Now, I understand, you know, when you're a father or a mother and your kid's crying for food and you have no other way but to get this chip to feed them. Some people are going to have to make some hard choices and hard decisions. But life is full of hard choices and decisions. See, when you're born, you have a decision to make. You know, whether you're going to be a bad kid or a good kid. How's life going to take you? I remember the decision I made 4th grade. I'll never forget. Miss Parker. I said Miss Parker was her name, right? And I made the worst decision of my life, and that was to disrespect that woman. And she told me to my face, one of these days you're going to meet my husband, poop butt. And a year later, I did meet her husband. And guess who her husband was? My first probation officer, Mr. Parker, with his big old shit kickers looking like Whack 100. Oh, pow! Bro! He crossed me out, right? Took me 25 years to get off paper after that one. Now, the decisions you make in life are always going to have an effect or ramifications on your life. Right? That's why I read my Bible. That's why I stay posted up and aware. That's why I stay educating myself, because I need to know exactly what's going on so that I'm prepared, so that I don't continue to make the wrong decisions like I did in the past. See, I made a whole lot of wrong. Hey, Vato, look at all you out there sitting here watching this. I made a whole lot of bad decisions, enough to give all of you guys at least 3 or 4 bad decisions. I made a lot. Sounds like I was bad. I was bad to the bone, bad to the bone. Yeah, I gave her. She was bad. I gave her the bone. I was different, right? But at the same time, now that I'm a little bit older and wiser, colder, but for having the weight of the world on my shoulder, I think before I react. I think before I just say things. I know what I say, and that's why I say it. One thing is for sure, you know, I'm going to refuse to take this mark because I think it's in my best interest to. If my daughter's crying, if she needs food, well, guess what? We're going to go out there, we're going to pick berries. We're going to do whatever we have to do together, right? But we're definitely not going to take this mark. Now, I understand if it takes me being beheaded in the streets in front of everyone or being incarcerated, hey, man, you know what I mean? A little time, I ain't doing nothing. A little time, what you going to give me? A little that? You know what I mean? A little demo? Let's do it, right? If you're going to incarcerate me for my love and my faith, then it is what it's going to be, right? If I'm going to have to be humiliated in the streets or even beheaded in the streets, well, then that's what it is. If you refer to your Bible, man, if you go in there and you look at it and you really think about it, it says in the end times, man, there's going to be chaos. There's going to be people running everywhere, fighting, screaming, falling, and yelling, and pushing, and cussing. I stepped back and said, I kept bussing. But then I decided it's time for me to go. So I stopped and I jumped in the vehicle. But you can't jump in the vehicle because there's no gas because you don't got the mark, so you can't get no gas. It's an ugly situation. See, it's a situation we're going to be put in by this new world order, man, that's going to definitely diminish our freedoms, diminish our mobility, diminish, being able to go anywhere, being able to visit family, being able to just live a proper life. And it's all going to start out with a smile. It's all going to start out with, oh, this is the future. This is advancement. This is how it's going to be. This makes your life that much better. And in the end, all it did was damn you. Now, God says in the Bible, and I'm going to quote the Bible because fuck what you're talking about if you don't like it, right? Trip out. What it says in the Bible is, if you take this mark, you're condemned. You're damned to hell. You've already chose up. You've been manipulated by the masses into getting this. If you stand strong, truly, and believe, and refuse, I refuse to lose. Fuck your straight tattoos. If you don't do that, if you don't get that mark, if you don't get that chip embedded in you, guess what's going to happen, gente? You're going to be there. Oh, you're going to be there. He says it. Don't never deny the word, because the word is all I heard. You feel me? And it's truth. Now, just yesterday, I'm doing a live, right? Myself and Dubs, we're kicking back. We're having a great conversation with the people. We're opening up a little bit more on our political standpoints. We're actually opening up a little bit more, just giving the people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear, but what they need to hear. Because we understand as two grown men, people are thirsty and hungry for education and knowledge, And if we got it to give it to you, bam. And if you got to give it to us, man, we're as receptive as anyone else. Everybody should thirst for knowledge. Now, trip out. We're bumping our gums, man, bumping baking soda breath on the keyboard, right? Just chilling. And we hear that North Korea fires off a missile. It's starting to happen every day. It's starting to become real, right? China's mobilizing on their shores. And there was a guy, and I wouldn't say arguing, but I was going back and forth with in the chat. And he was making some valid and great points, talking about we're the strongest army and we're the strongest this and we're the strongest that. And I said, you know what? I've been on yards where the strongest cars have fell off. I've been on the yards, in prison. And I always reflect back to prison because that's where I lived half of my life, right? And that's where I always key everything into. I compare it to what I know. And I said, I've watched great men fall. And I watched great falls by men. I've just seen a lot of different things. So you can never judge a book by its cover. The only thing that I know that's facts and in life and that I know that's real is that Bible and what it says. That is really going to happen because I've seen so many things happen already. This mark of the beast, if you take this shit, you're done. Will it happen? Well, look around you. It's already happening. They already, I think it's Switzerland or Sweden, they're already embedding chips in people saying, oh, it's just a test run. Well, that Vato's already fucked up. It's already done for him. I'm not going to get it. Now, I'm not here to tell you to get something or not get something. I'm only here to advise you and give you the education into why you should do it or why you shouldn't. Okay? The reasons, hey, you're going to live comfortable, right? Or so they say. But what happens after? What happens after when you look around and you got it, you're like, I'm cool, bro. These fools are crazy. They're tripping. Jesus is coming. Here they come. They're tripping, right? And then you go and get the shit, and then you start seeing people get their heads cut off for not getting it. You're like, damn. It done got real around here, huh? Yeah, it got real. I said it got real. Guard! You're going to get it up with the... You already got it? You're a mark, man. The mark with the mark. Straight up. Now, look. With that being said, gente, don't be scared. A lot of these... I've had a lot of people get at me in my DMs. They're like, man, Gunner, you're scaring me, man, because you're speaking real. I'm going to stay speaking real. I've always spoke real, man. If you were scared now, you should have been scared then. Everything I've ever told you has been real. I'm just letting you guys know that where I stand right now in my life and what I'm doing in my life, nah, man, I ain't all churched out. Nah, man, I'm the same OG that I always was, But one thing is for sure, and it remains facts, that I'm caring more about my family, my kids, and thinking about their future, and understanding that everything that's going on around me, man, is looking real shady and real ugly. And the only way to prepare them is to prepare myself, because you can't teach someone if you don't have the knowledge to give them. That's why I'm trying to give you guys the knowledge. If you take that mark of the beast, man, it's on you. Read the Bible, you'll figure it out. Don't listen to me, man. Like I said, I'm just another broke brown man right here on YouTube trying to get it. So get with it. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. I hope that you get every single thing that you want coming to you. This is game, gente. This is game. Soak it. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge me. You're going to have the mark as some cranca. You'll definitely have something. With that being said, move smooth, man. Go out there and get it. If you like this, hit the like and subscribe. If not, you can hit me with the thumbs down. See, Heavy's going to be the head that wears this crown. I'm going to remain what I am, and that's someone that's going to speak the real. If you like the real, this is where you're really going to get it. If you don't, so go over to someone else and watch them not on here, man. You know what I mean? And other channels that just do wow stuff like that. You already know what it is, man. I don't have to say no more. They said enough for us. With that being said, this is the gun. That's it. Bang, bang.